Welcome to the Chelsfield Park Hospital in Kent. We're here tonight for a unique event in the history of television. We're going to see invasive surgery attempted without anaesthetic. The only barrier between the patient and the pain of the procedure will be the power of his mind. The purpose of our programme tonight is to try to understand how hypnosis works and what it can do. Advocates say it could revolutionise the practice of anaesthetics in this country. Well, tonight we'll be putting the procedure of hypnosurgery to the test. Here in our studio in the hospital grounds, we've gathered together a number of people who are here to help us understand what we're going to see happen tonight. They'll explain how an operation can be conducted without anaesthetic, and we'll discuss the potential benefits, the risks and the implications for the health service. I'll be talking to surgeons, to hypnotists, to psychologists and to patients. Now, some of them are already persuaded of the benefits of hypnosis. Others remain to be convinced by what they see here tonight. Well, watching the preparations get underway over in the operating theatre is the clinical psychologist John Marsden. He's going to be our eyes and our ears throughout this operation. John.
Yes, this is it, the theatre, the operating theatre for tonight's drama. And I'm going to be presenting the entire show from this position and reporting back live to you. Now, behind me, the surgical team are getting ready, as you can see, preparing the way. And in a moment, I'm going to be talking to two key people. The surgeon and the hypnotherapist will be working here live.
Well, our volunteer patient, Dale Hitchman, is resting over in the hospital now. He's getting ready for the surgery, the final preparations that are just about to begin. But for him, this is actually the end of a process that began nearly 6 weeks ago.
Dale Hitchman is a 36-year-old maitre d' who works on cruise ships, but his recent discovery of a hernia is preventing him from going back to work.
I discovered I had a hernia during a routine medical, which is part of what I have to do every now and again for my job at sea. The company I'm working for will not give me a new contract with a hernia, so to actually continue working it needs to be done, so I'm in limbo at the moment until it's sorted out.
Despite the urgent need to get his hernia removed, Dale is reluctant to have a conventional anaesthetic.
I would really rather avoid a general anaesthetic. I mean, I've got a lot of fear regarding them. I would rather sort of have nothing and just sort of try and endure the pain than have a general anaesthetic.
So Dale came to London to explore the possibility of using hypnosis.
Hypnosurgery is something I'd never even heard of. It's a completely alien concept to me. And hypnosis to me is just some pissed person on stage eating an onion or dancing around like they're Madonna. I've got a few concerns about the hypnosurgery. You know, will I feel some pain? I obviously don't want to be in agony, and hopefully I'll be responsive to it.
In early March, Dale arrived for his first appointment with hypnotherapist John Butler to test his susceptibility to hypnosis.
Hello, Dale.
Hi.
Come right in.
John, nice to meet you.
First, John tested Dale's pain threshold.
Clamp a bit of tissue and decide for yourself how easy it is for you if you were to try and close those. How does that feel to you? Is it painful?
Yeah.
You know, there's other notches there, and I'm not going to close it on that. Do you want to close it further? Or?
No.
I'll take it off you then.
Then, John hypnotized Dale with a series of suggestion exercises in a session lasting 45 minutes.
In a moment, I want you to begin counting backwards from 100. And as you count backwards, let the numbers begin to float away. When you've relaxed your mind completely, those numbers have gone completely.
100.
Deeper asleep, huh?
99.
Now focus on relaxing your mind.
Deeper asleep.
Now focus on the numbers disappearing, Dale. The goal is your relaxation, not your numbers. Now as you relax, you're developing a wonderful ability to relax your mind and body. And this means your subconscious mind is also opening up to positive, good and beneficial suggestions. The eyelids open, fully aware. Take a deep breath in. So you've had that classical sign of the redness in around the eyes. It's a good sign that you're relaxing very well.
Well, I felt my body relaxing more than my mind.
And that's the first stage, relaxing the body. It's the easier part usually. To relax the mind's activities takes a bit longer.
Right, good.
Good, wonderful.
And John Butler is with me now. Good evening to you, John. Now, tell me a little bit, first of all, about your day job as a hypnotherapist. What does that involve?
Clinical hypnotherapy involves treating people for all kinds of conditions, psychological, behavioural, and some of them which are, involve physical conditions which are in origin in the mind, like psychosomatic conditions. There may be chronic pain attached to some of these conditions, and so these are things that we treat quite regularly.
No, okay, let's come into the particular of the operation tonight. Tell me about your role here.
Well, I prepare this patient now for a few sessions focusing on controlling pain. He has a great aversion to general anaesthetics, so he wants to have it done using hypnosis.
So that's Dale's motivation, that he's got an aversion to GA, but he wants to take part in the operation, and you're going to be guiding him through it. But do you think every patient could be suitable for this procedure?
Well, not everybody's going to volunteer for this. To have it done on its own without any chemical anaesthetics, I think it's more likely long-term most people would want to combine it with chemical anaesthetics. But and I think that's partly the way, really the major way forward with this, so that people have a much better result, better healing, quicker recovery. But I've done quite a few using hypnosis instead of anaesthetics, even general anaesthetics, perfectly successful with them.
Okay, thanks for that for now. We'll be catching up with you later.
Fine.
Now, as John said, he's been having a few sessions now with Dale, and each time taking Dale deeper and deeper.
So begin your counting now.
100, deeper asleep.
Out of your mind.
99,
Much deeper now.
deeper asleep.
Now you feel a wonderful analgesia, a numbness, in and around the hand area, just like a local anaesthetic is in that area. In a moment I'm going to have you nod your head, and when you nod your head, that anaesthesia is twice as strong. Just nod your head and feel that anaesthesia coming in. This wonderful analgesia in this left hand is now going to transfer into that area, in and around where the surgery, where I'm touching, where it's going to be done. Just feel that analgesia flooding in, just as if that area was completely free of all sensations, like a lump of stone. So when the work is done, nothing bothers and disturbs in that area. It feels numb. With each passing day, you're becoming ever more confident in your inner power, confident in the power of your mind to influence your body's sensations. Eyelids open, fully aware. Good. All right, so you're relaxing very well there now, it seems.
Yeah, usually I'm feeling it afterwards, but I'm still feeling quite numb here now.
Yeah. Well, normally when you come out of the hypnosis, you'd feel the stinging. You'd feel the sensation.
Yeah.
But that's not happening now because you're getting such a good response. That's wonderful control you're getting now through the power of your mind.
So, John, do you think there's any additional pressure on Dale tonight?
There is probably in the background some pressure to, it probably will increase motivation to some extent, but there's also having to deal with the, kind of invasive nature of filming and all the rest. It does have some influence on the process, but not very much, I think.
Do you think it'll make your job harder?
I just put it out of the back of my mind, really. I don't focus on it.
Okay, well, thanks very much. I must let you get on. Now, I can also catch up for a moment with Surgeon Tom Hennigan. Good evening to you, Tom.
Good evening.
Well, we're all very excited. You must be too. First of all, just tell us a little bit about what medical problem has Dale got.
He's got a paraumbilical hernia. That's a very common problem where there's a gap in the muscles of the abdominal wall with tissue protruding through it. So it's a straightforward problem to tackle. Make an incision over it, tuck it all back in and close it in layers with sutures and then close the skin. And that's the job done. Very much routine.
Now, would you normally offer that procedure to a patient under a local or even a general anaesthetic where they're unconscious?
Well, we would discuss it with the patient, and it takes into account how nervous they are and how fit they are. If there are medical reasons to avoid general anaesthetic, we would prefer a local, but on the whole, the preferred option is to do it under local anaesthetic.
Now, from your point of view, does it make any difference that your patient is under no anaesthesia?
No, it doesn't make any difference at all. I've done them under hypnosis before. I've done countless hernia operations in the past, so the surgery is exactly the same. And I've worked with Dr. Butler before, and so I know how well it works, and so I've got every confidence that you'll be comfortable. But if necessary, we'll give them a local anaesthetic, so it's comfort and safety for the patient.
Those are the paramount priorities. Exactly. Well, I must let you get on as well, so thanks very much for talking to me. Back to you in the studio.
Well, with me in the studio to watch this operation are two people who've got long experience of both skills involved. Charles Montague is a hypnotherapist, Simon Marsh is a surgeon and an expert in repairing hernias. So you know this operation very well. Is there anything difficult or complicated about an operation like this normally?
No, it should be fairly straightforward. As Tom said, it can be difficult, it can be easier. I'll be interested to see how it goes. I'm aware of what hypnosis might be able to do. I'm also aware of what you need as a surgeon for the patient to be relaxed, so I'm intrigued to see how they get on.
Are you confident that it can work just with hypnosis, with no other kind of anaesthesia?
Yeah, I think they'll do very well.
And where will the key points be? Where the first incision, that's the difficult
Yes,
bit?
that'll be interesting because people often feel the pressure on the skin when you put the scalpel on. Even with local anaesthetic, they're still aware of pressure. And the other interesting thing to watch out for is when he's handling the sac of the hernia, and we'll come to that and we'll see some pictures about that.
Charles, you've done operations under
Yes.
hypnosis before. Are you confident about the outcome of this
Well, I'm
one?
very confident in John and in Dale. Surgery with hypnosis will tend to be easier. There's less bleeding. There's more control on the part of the patient. I think most importantly of all, I think Dale has the confidence in the fact that he has some control over his own body during the process, and I think that's fantastic for the public, who are used to seeing hypnosis portrayed as a state where people don't have control.
And I believe you knew one of the great pioneers of this, Jack Gibson, who's something of a legend in the world of hypnosurgery, the one man who really pioneered the use of hypnosis inside the operating theatre.
In Dublin in the 1950s, Jack Gibson's enthusiasm for hypnosis in surgery really became known.
There are times when a person could not be given a general anaesthetic, sometimes because of a very weak heart, and sometimes after an accident they may be so badly injured that a general anaesthetic wouldn't be safe.
Deeper and deeper and deeper into a sleep-like state.
As surgeon and hypnotist, he performed some extraordinary operations, such as removing a blood clot from behind a man's eye.
I hypnotized him. I got my finger behind his eye and hooked out the blood clot, and he had no pain at all.
Now, on average, 20, you're going to feel very, very well. 17, 18, 19, 20, waking up, you're fine. You can sit up now. Well, did you feel any discomfort?
No, nothing whatsoever.
One of his first cases was a woman suffering from severe acne. Under hypnosis, he applied what today seems an alarming treatment.
I had trained her very well before I brought her into the hospital. And she got up on the table, and I took the sandpaper. I sandpapered the whole of the face. I had to rub very, very hard. She was perfectly awake, and she was absolutely without any feeling in her face. And when the operation was over, we bandaged her whole face up. She wouldn't have a lift home, and she could walk back quite easily.
Jack Gibson went on to perform around 4,000 operations without conventional anaesthetics. But he knew well enough that other doctors might not follow his lead.
I think the future depends on whether it is incorporated in the medical curriculum or whether the students are going to study the subject even if it's not, or pending the time when it is. I think there is a tremendous future.
So that was more than 50 years ago that Jack Gibson was saying he thought there was a great future for hypnosis and surgery. What's happened?
Yes, well, Jack, for a start, was a most gifted surgeon. He had no formal training in hypnosis, but he had an enormous belief in the human mind, and he helped more than 3,000 people have hypnotic surgery without any anaesthetic. Sadly, I'd like to see hypnosis now much more widely available than it is, and as John Butler was saying earlier on, I think it'd be good if some part hypnosis was allowed, so it was a combination. But I think partly it's awareness, and I think also the cost.
An operation like this, Simon, would normally be done under a general anaesthetic, yeah?
Yes, it would, yeah.
Whereas actually we're going to try and do it entirely under hypnosis with the possibility of a local anaesthetic if we see any distress from the patient.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, gentlemen. After the break, we'll be watching John Butler as he prepares Dale for his last hypnosis session before he undergoes that surgery to repair his hernia entirely without anaesthetic. Do join us then. Okay, what have we got? Welcome back to Hypnosurgery Live, where we're about to witness surgery with a patient who's been hypnotised to feel no pain. By watching this operation as it happens, we'll be exploring the claims of those who believe hypnosis could play a valuable role in surgery, The patient who's volunteered to help us test those claims is Dale Hitchman, and he's about to have surgery to repair a hernia. He's now on his way down to theatre for his operation, but earlier today he spoke to John Marsden.
Dale, this is early afternoon and the big day ahead. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling really good. I mean, obviously, I get some nerves, but I mean, I've learned to, you know, swap the word nerve with excitement. So in my head, I think nerves, and I think excitement. So I'm actually quite looking forward to it.
Now, that indicates to me that you are now quite a big convert to hypnosis. So, tell me what's been going on for you.
Well, apart from, I mean, this journey from meeting John and having all the sessions I've had has been a massive, long mental journey that I feel has been really life-changing. It's not to do with the actual operation I'm going to have. It's to do with how I view people, and it's just changed a lot of my views mentally.
And you're quite keen to have this procedure done, because I gather that you actually need to have it successfully treated in order to get back to work.
Oh yeah, there was, you know, this was the most quickest, most efficient, most sort of fearless way of having it done, because people say I'm brave, and I'm not brave, because if I was brave I'd have chosen general anaesthetic. So to me it just sort of ticked all the boxes, and it's been an incredible education.
So finally, expectations for this evening?
Just that, I mean, I hope I don't let the people down whose commitment and faith in me has been really sort of affirming of my ability, so it's been brilliant. So I hope I don't let them down, but at the same time, I don't really have any nerves or fear. I'm just looking forward to it.
Good luck. Thanks, Dale.
Thanks.
Well, here in the studio, ready to watch the whole procedure, is Dale's mum, Faye. You must be absolutely dreading this.
Well, whilst I'm very, very nervous, Dale's been guiding me along this incredible journey, and I do know he's got a lot of faith in John Butler, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Do you think you're going to be able to actually watch that first incision being made or any of the procedure?
To be honest, I don't know. I'd like to watch it for Dale's sake. If he's got the courage, I think I should, but it's going to be hard, and we'll see as we go, and I might have to close my eyes on some difficult bits.
I mean, he's made it clear to us he's doing this because he doesn't want to have a general anaesthetic. About this point, you must be wishing he did want to have a general anaesthetic.
Mixed feelings there. I don't know. I've learnt so much about the you know, hypnotism, and that you know, I can see where it's coming from, and I can understand him doing it. He is
Even if it's a bit nerve-wracking at the moment.
Absolutely. Very, very nerve-wracking.
Okay. Well, Dale will be using only hypnosis to control and suppress the pain of this operation. And we'll be asking tonight whether hypnosis could become routinely used in the operating theatre, maybe even replacing general anaesthetics, because they do carry their own risks. Throughout history, in fact, the search for safe and effective anaesthetics has always been rather haphazard. John Marsden's been to Bart's Hospital to find out more.
Today, anaesthesia is an incredibly sophisticated technique. When we go under, anaesthetists are skilled at holding us, hovering really, between life and death. And it's easy to think that the practice of anaesthesia is really the full answer. But history tells us that anaesthesia will continue to evolve. Now, our story really begins in the 19th century, when, without anaesthesia, surgery was the last resort.
I think before anaesthesia came in, surgery was unimaginable.
The patient would be held down by 4 or 5 strong people, and the doctor could guarantee to take off a leg in under a minute.
The screams that even the strongest person tried to suppress were just heart-rending. And even the surgeons themselves hated to operate.
Many people just died of shock. It was more than 50% fatality in some operations. Most people went into surgery thinking that they were going to die.
No wonder patients were crying out for pain relief. Now, the first major breakthrough in anaesthetics would change the face of surgery forever. Ether had been around for hundreds of years, but it was only in the 1840s that we realized it could be used as an anaesthetic. And for the first time, surgery could be carried out pain-free.
When ether was first introduced, the public and the medical profession were enormously excited.
It's a very non-toxic drug, and it provides very profound pain relief. Even after people had woken up having had the operation, they were still pain-free, which was a marvellous thing.
But ether had some drawbacks. It wasn't very pleasant to use, it made people cough, it made them sick, and also it was highly inflammable, and if you were performing surgery under candlelight and gaslight, this was not a good thing.
Next, it was a gas that grabbed the headlines, nitrous oxide. Also known as laughing gas, this was a serious anaesthetic. Had been overlooked by the medical profession for many years.
And it was only when someone noticed that someone had hurt themselves but they didn't feel any pain that it suddenly became apparent that it could be an anaesthetic.
The man who saw this, Horace Wells, started using it in his dental practice and found that you could extract teeth quite painlessly by inhaling nitrous oxide first.
In time, it would transform our visits to the dentist. But for now, laughing gas was simply too weak, and so the search for the perfect knockout was still on. A Scottish doctor, James Simpson, was convinced there was something better out there, and so he took it upon himself to sniff every single chemical he could lay his hands on.
Simpson had a dinner party one day, and instead of passing the port round the table at the end of dinner, he passed a bottle of this new inhalational agent, and they all tried it, and they woke up on the floor, and they discovered chloroform.
Chloroform was absolutely just like a blazing star across the heavens. The public thought it was wonderful and they wanted it.
It was a very potent drug, and they produced very good pain relief after the operations.
It wasn't flammable. It was much pleasanter to use. It had every possible advantage except one.
It could actually make the heart stop.
Instant cardiac arrest. It could be fatal in seconds. The doctors used to say the patient died as if he had been shot.
The next breakthrough came from an unlikely source, the Amazon jungle. South American Indians had been using a poison called curare on the tips of their arrows, and it was realized that its ability to relax muscles could be used by surgeons when operating on an anesthetized patient.
By administering small doses of these drugs, the whole of the muscles of the body relaxed completely, so that the surgeon was able to have total access, for example, into the abdomen or into the chest, without having to fight with the muscles which might have been tense otherwise, or without the patient having to suffer huge doses of inhalational agent to take them very deep to produce the same level of relaxation.
Scientists continue to refine the anaesthetic process with the discovery of new drugs, such as ketamine, and with new ways of administering and monitoring them. Today, anaesthesia is an extraordinarily complex process involving a cocktail of up to 100 different drugs to get us to sleep, relieve pain, and block reflexes. But is filling our bodies with drugs the only option?
It's very easy in this day and age to imagine that anaesthesia as we know it is the only way of progressing. What I think we're looking for is a major paradigm shift now, so that we can find a new way of producing that same state without necessarily giving patients all these drugs.
Right, we're back now live in the theatre, and I gather that Dale is about to arrive in the theatre area. Right, as you can see, important moment there. That was Dale arriving into the anaesthetic room. He'll now be joined by John Butler to begin the process of getting him in a hypnotic trance. Now, joining me, good evening, is Angela Arunta. She is the surgical team anaesthetist. Now, Angela, people might be wondering, why are you needed if this procedure is going to be done under hypnosis?
Well, basically, I'm here as a backup. The patient will be undergoing hypnotherapy. If the hypnotherapy doesn't work, the surgeon will be applying local anaesthetic. And I'm here if both the hypnotherapy and the local anaesthetic are unsuccessful, and then I'll institute a general anaesthetic for the patient.
So what sort of things are you going to be monitoring?
Well, I'll be monitoring the vital signs of the patient, the heart rate, the respiratory rate. I'll be observing the patient, liaising with the hypnotherapist and with the surgeon. And if we feel that the patient's too uncomfortable and is not coping with the procedure, I will then institute a general anaesthetic.
Angela, I'll let you get on. Thanks for that for now.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, I'll be reporting back later as Dale begins the process of becoming hypnotised in preparation for the surgical procedure. Back to you, Sarah.
Well, it is amazing to see how far medicine's come in the matter of suppressing pain during surgery, but even the full range of modern drugs can sometimes lead to difficulties. Around 6 million general anaesthetics are given every year. About a third of those patients will feel nausea and sickness. Each year, about 300 patients will go into anaphylactic shock. 30 will actually die from the anaesthetic, not from the operation. But perhaps the most frightening thing is that during surgery every year, 6,000 patients experience some kind of awareness. 2,000 of them feel actual pain. And here's the worst of it. Because a general anaesthetic paralyses the patient, there have been several cases in which patients have woken up during operations. They can feel everything that's going on, but been completely unable to speak. Sally Pearson was one of these people who had this terrifying experience. Tell us a little bit about what happened, Sally.
Well, Sarah, I went into hospital for an emergency caesarean, having been in labour for 9 hours, and I was rushed into theatre, and I remember thinking, oh good, no more pain, because I thought that I was going to be knocked out. And I was put out initially, and then I heard voices, and I thought, oh, that's strange, I'm dreaming about the operation. And then at that moment I felt the surgeon's knife just go across my stomach.
You could actually feel all of it, as though there was nothing blocking the pain at all?
There was nothing blocking the pain, because I had been knocked out initially. I had been intubated, so I had a tube down my throat, and I was breathing, although I thought I was dying because I couldn't feel that I was breathing.
And could you tell anyone about the agonising pain you were feeling?
No, because I'd had a muscle relaxant that had completely paralysed me. I wasn't aware of that at the time. I thought I'd be able to scream and tell them to stop, and I tried to do that with all my might, but I couldn't move a muscle.
How long did this go on for?
Well, until my baby was born.
So that was really quite a long time. That's absolutely terrifying. What did people say when you came round and told them about it?
Oh, well, at first I came round as I was being wheeled out of surgery, because the anaesthetist realised that the tube had become disconnected, and she did knock me out right at the end, just as I was being stapled out. So I went out briefly, and then as I was being wheeled out of theatre, the nurse asked me if I was all right, and I said in this tiny little voice, "No, I'm not. I was awake."
No, I'm not surprised. It's really frightening. Charles, could something like this happen when a patient's under hypnosis?
Oh, no, it couldn't. And in fact, one of the benefits to Dale is that he is fully able to speak, and he's very much awake. And so if there's any sensation at all, they'll know right at the beginning, and all the people and the drugs are on hand if he needs them.
How will he be able to signal his distressing? Because that was the one thing Sally couldn't do, was let anybody know what was going on.
I think he'll say, "Ow."
He's that conscious. I mean, he can have a normal conversation with them, say, "Ouch, that hurts."
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that would be the point then at which a local anaesthetic would be administered?
Would be administered. I don't believe that will be necessary, but certainly there would never be a situation of the kind that Sally just described.
And Simon, if you were doing this operation and the patient had some hypnosis and a small amount of local injected, would that be different from how you would normally do this?
Yes, it would, because normally, as we said, I'd use a general anaesthetic. There are people you can use local anaesthetic on, and it might be very useful, actually, if somebody is having some hypnosis as well as some local anaesthetic. It might reduce the amount of local anaesthetic you need, for example. That would be good for the patient. OK, well, we'll find out if that's what happens. Let's go over to the theatre for an update from John.
Now, Dale has just begun the preparation with John Butler to begin to get him into this trance that's so necessary for the procedure to be a success. It is important that I stress to you that as a safeguard, he's had an IV drip line, a cannula fitted, which means that if needed, he can be given instant anaesthetics. Now, again, I'm joined by Surgeon Tom Hennigan. Hello, Tom, again. Now, tell us a little bit more about some of the constraints that are operating for you tonight.
The major thing is we want the operating theatre quiet so as not to disturb Dale. So we're practiced this ahead of time, so we've got signals from Dale with his finger to John Butler, and then John Butler will give me signals such as stop, slow down, or give local anaesthetic if necessary. So it's all.
So let me be absolutely clear about this. If Dale has been instructed that if he feels any discomfort, any distress, he will indicate that by lifting his finger up.
Yeah, he'll signal with his finger, and then either John Butler will increase the depth of hypnotic anaesthesia, and if that works, well, fine, we'll continue. If there's any problem, then we'll use local anaesthetic in addition. But I would imagine the hypnotic anaesthetic will be sufficient.
And if all is running to plan, you'll just be indicating with hand gestures to your team for swabs or scalpels?
There's a series of simple things like scissors or a needle or a mesh or whatever, so it's all simple hand signals. And the nurses have done this thousands of times before, so they know what equipment is needed at what particular point, at each particular point of the procedure.
Many thanks, Tom.
All straightforward.
OK, so as we've heard, a rule of silence is going to operate now in the theatre, so I'll be able to watch what's going on, but I'll have to report from outside in terms of physical feedback to you verbally. Thank you. Over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, John. What we're going to see there is, of course, a hernia repair operation. But when most of us think of medically inflicted pain, immediately we think, of course, of the dentist. Fear of dental pain actually prevents many people from getting any treatment, and hypnosis can be used there to overcome pain too.
In Glasgow, dentist Mike Gow and his partner Abid Fakir are pushing the boundaries in the way they use hypnosis to manage pain. For the first time, they're going to attempt advanced dental surgery with no other anaesthetic. The procedure to insert an implant will involve cutting into the gum and drilling into the jawbone.
As far as we're aware, this is the first time this has ever been carried out, this procedure with no local anaesthetic.
Patient Wendy Spencer has been fully prepared and knows what to expect.
It's not really saying that there's not going to be any pain, it's just how do you deal with it. So if you can then manage that and dissociate yourself from that, then it's great.
The perception of pain and somebody's emotions are very intrinsically linked, and certainly you do find with patients who are anxious that they report the experience of pain being greater. With hypnosis you're able to relax the person and therefore their experience of any unpleasant stimulus is less. So how are you feeling, Wendy? Are you okay?
Fine.
Yeah, right. Good stuff. This is going to be excellent, okay? Really positive experience. I wonder if you can imagine that marble staircase that you talked about before. Can you see that staircase? Yeah. I wonder if you can just start slowly walking down these stairs. You can find yourself in a place where your mind can be completely comfortable. All the normal sounds and noises of the practice, just allow them to fade away as you feel the drapes going on. It's just as if you're being tucked into bed. It's a nice, comfortable feeling. Lift both of your hands up and have the palms of the hands facing each other.
After 15 minutes of relaxation, Mike uses a technique that appears to transfer numbness from Wendy's fingers to her mouth.
By thinking about the sensations and the feelings in the right hand, you can begin to change them. Can you feel any differences starting to happen there?
It's quite pins and needles.
Kind of getting pins and needles, okay. Just allow that feeling to grow stronger and just spread into the fingers, down through the knuckles and into the fingertips. So that when I pinch just on your left hand there, that just feels normal, doesn't it? If I pinch on the right hand there, that can feel different. How does that feel?
Just kind of feels kind of like rubber.
Rubbery, almost as if you had a big pair of marigolds on. Just raising your hand up and just allowing any sensations drain down the hand now, so this hand becomes twice as tingly as it did before. Just feel these feelings getting stronger and stronger. Can you feel that? And I wonder if when you move this up to your gum level, up at the area we're going to be working on, just placing the thumb on the roof of your mouth side and placing the tip of your finger on the other side and just squeezing in that area and just make sure you pass all that coldness, all that tingly feeling into and around this area, okay? And you can move your hand up now and do that. Just move the hand all the way up. And just take all the time you need just to allow that feeling to pass from the hand and from the fingers up into the tissues around this area. How would you describe the feelings in the left side of your face right now?
You're just stiff, as if when you've burnt your finger and your skin goes tight.
Wendy uses the idea of a pain dial, registering from 0 to 10 to report the intensity of her pain. Mike uses this visualization to help her turn it down.
And just writing down where things are at on this dial, just that 0. That's perfect. Very, very good. That's fantastic. Very good. Okay. You might hear some funny noises, but you know for a fact you don't need to let them worry you. If you open nice and wide when you're ready, just notice how comfortable this can be if you allow it to be. Just noticing the noises. Good, that's fabulous, Wendy. If you just write down a number for me there. Just write me a wee number, a 0. Wow, that's fabulous.
With Wendy prepared, but using no anaesthetic, Abid now starts the surgery, while Mike continues the hypnosis.
Next drill. Okay, so just relax for me. I feel lots of water in there.
Lots of water, lots of pressure. Just write me another number down there. Where are lots of things in there? 2, that's fine.
I'm just going to introduce the first drill.
A bit of vibration and pressure. Totally cold. Totally stiff. And perhaps as this begins, you can feel it becoming even more stiff there, even more cold. Just focus on that dial as you turn it down. That's fine. Pressure and movement.
That's excellent. Wendy, we made a small wee clip of the gum. We're going to close that together with a single stitch.
Just stay completely relaxed, just feeling the pressure and the movement. And if you just write me another number down there, Wendy. Is that a 0, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent.
From first incision, the operation takes 25 minutes.
In a moment or two, I'll be counting back again from 10 to 1, and over the coming days, you'll be surprised by how quickly things will heal and by how comfortable things feel over the next few days. 3, 2, 1, and just open your eyes wide awake, fully awake. Excellent. Well done. That was fabulous. Congratulations. You feeling okay, yeah? Relaxed?
Yes, fine. Yeah, all right. I remember it all. I felt it, yes, I did feel it, and there was bits where that was quite sore, but not sore enough that I couldn't manage it.
I was totally blown away by the whole procedure. I honestly thought we weren't going to manage the full thing, but the patient and Michael's hypnosis was fantastic.
Well, Mike Gow, who you saw in that film there, is here in the studio with me, and I'll be talking to him in a minute, but I believe that Dale's ready to go through into the theatre now.
Well, as Sarah's just said, Dale, in fact, is definitely coming into the theatre now. He's been in a hypnotic trance now for a few minutes with John Butler. We can just see him. He's being wheeled in slowly now. Tom joins me again. Tom, what sort of physical state is the patient in now?
Well, he's comfortable, very relaxed and partially anaesthetised, and then we'll get him onto the table, and when he's in the correct position, then we'll get the monitoring going,
right,
so that we know everything is safe. Then John will deepen the anaesthetic, so that then he'll be ready for the operation, and John will give us a signal whenever he's ready for us to start, so that we know everything's correct from a safety point of view and the comfort point of view.
So in a sense, he's not your patient yet. He's still under the care of John Butler.
Oh yes, and with it being a slightly unusual circumstance, then I think that it's John Butler that should be the captain of the ship, as it were, to make sure that we've got everything right from the comfort and safety point of view, ready for me to start.
What are your thoughts at the moment?
No, we're very much looking forward to it. It's a technique we've done before, and I think is well worthy of investigation, and we'll see how it goes today. But if there's a problem, comfort is an important thing, and we'll give him whatever anaesthetic he needs, but I think it's probably going to be either a small amount or none at all.
It is extraordinary, and I keep on pinching myself that this is a patient who's just about to have fairly serious surgery, invasive surgery, under hypnosis, no anaesthetic, and I mean, he looks as if he's unconscious, but he isn't, is he?
Oh no, he's completely conscious and would be able to talk to you, but obviously we don't want to disturb his concentration, and so we need to be as quiet as possible while John is deepening the hypnotic anaesthetic to the level required for surgery.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll leave you to it, Tom. Thanks very much.
Okay. Anytime.
Okay, well, tense moments here. We've got the patient into the theatre. He is looking very comfortable, and it's back to you, Sarah.
Okay, well, while he gets ready for that surgery, I've still got Mike Gow, who we saw in that film about dentistry with me. Is it very common to use hypnosis in the dentist surgery?
It's certainly starting to become more common. More and more dentists are undergoing the training offered by the hypnosis societies, such as the British Society of Medical and Dental Hypnosis in Scotland and England, BSEC, and the courses at University College London, run by Professor Oakland.
But when you suggest to a patient that they might want to have dental treatment, not with any pain-killing drugs, but with hypnosis instead, what kind of reaction do you normally get?
It's not generally something we would offer that often, you know, because most of the time people have it done with anaesthetics. Usually if we're using hypnosis, it would be in combination with anaesthetics.
People must be pretty surprised when you suggest hypnosis at all.
Oh, well, certainly, and for something like this, I think most people would be fairly taken aback, yeah.
Well, also with me here is Professor Oakley, who's the director of the Hypnosis Unit at University College London. State where you could operate on them or perform a dental treatment?
Well, there are a whole variety of different techniques. The core feature is that people become focused and absorbed on some thought or idea, and once they're in that focused, absorbed state, the trance-like state, then you can use suggestion to produce things like analgesia or enlightened imagery or whatever is needed for the particular procedures.
And so you use different kind of procedures. We heard you talking about a marble staircase in that film. What did that mean?
That was a kind of basic deepening technique that allowed the patient to go into what's called her special place, just where she could be completely relaxed. But you know, this is imagery that she's chosen and come up with herself, and you know, it's not led by myself. This is something that she's, you know.
How easy is it to teach these kind of techniques? Because you weren't a hypnotist to begin with, you were a dentist to start with. How common is it for somebody to be able to learn it that well?
The techniques themselves are not that difficult. How to apply them in particular settings is, and the sort of people who would respond better to hypnosis is important to determine that in individual cases. The actual techniques I learn them on people like Mike, and we also teach psychologists and medics to use hypnosis in their professions as well.
So say somebody involved in this tonight, the anaesthetist we saw there, Angela, for instance, becomes convinced by this. You could teach her to use these techniques, could you? And then she could do it in her own surgical procedures?
Yeah, I think that would be ideal. For the anaesthetist to be the person who delivers the hypnosis means they have the control of whether they use some anaesthesia, no anaesthesia or whatever, and that they're obviously on hand and you don't need an extra person in the theatre.
Okay, David, thanks for that. We'll be talking more about this after the break, and we'll be watching the operation begin. Welcome back to Hypnosurgery Live, where we are just about to witness surgery on a man whose only defence against pain is hypnotic suggestion. My colleague John Marsden is over in the theatre now.
Okay, back in the theatre, hushed voice from me now. We're very nearly at the beginning of the surgical procedure. Angela's just here to my left. You're going to be monitoring, Angela, some of the patient's vital signs. What exactly is going on?
At the moment we're monitoring his heart rate and saturations and respiratory rate. The hypnotist is in the process of deepening the hypnosis, and the surgeon's about to start surgery. And so far everything seems to be working well.
Okay, so thank you. I can get back and ask you how things are going on later on. Okay, well, we're about to hand over to John here, so I'm just going to get back out of camera shot again, as you can see, and hand straight over to Tom.
Much deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Now it's well underway and it's almost done, that part. Wonderful. Almost done. Wonderfully relaxing, much deeper still. That's wonderful. It's just not there. The mind is so powerful, you go much deeper now. It's all over that part. And now you go deeper still, and much deeper. Clamps going on and going deeper, and deeper, and deeper. Now that's shooting so powerfully, so wonderfully. Keeping it alive in your mouth, and more, anesthetizing your mind and body. So calm, relaxed in that wonderful inner space, a wonderful deep place within you. Nothing bothers, and nothing disturbs more and more as you relax deeper, and deeper, and deeper, and deeper, and deeper, and deeper still. Wonderfully relaxed in your mind and body, wonderfully relaxed, wonderfully, it's doing so wonderfully well already, and the major part of the early stages already done, and that's the first part is really well underway, and moving fast and quickly through the whole procedure as you go much deeper still. Numb in that area, like wood or stone, and numb, more and more relaxing, deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper still. Wonderfully well, going much deeper still, much deeper in the relaxation, and the work has been done so quickly, in fact, and it's just going so well, and nothing bothers, nothing disturbs, as you go much deeper still, much deeper still, much deeper still, much deeper still, much deeper in the relaxation. Nothing bothers or disturbs you, so in your inner place. Couldn't even be concerned about it. You're not even bothered about it. You're just going so deeper into your soul, into your inner mind, into your inner power, giving wonderful healing and recovery. And that work has been done so well, so powerfully, so effectively by your mind. And the work of Tom has gone ahead so perfectly now that it's working at a wonderful rate. And all that major part of it, in fact, it's really all over. And as you go deeper and deeper and deeper still, deeper and deeper and deeper still, much deeper into your relaxation. Nothing bothers and nothing disturbs as you go down deeper and deeper. You're doing wonderfully well, so powerfully relaxed, deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, much deeper still. That's it, that's just a little bit of pressure, but it's over now. And as you go deeper still, further work is already underway, bringing you closer and closer to the end of this procedure. In fact, every step sending you deeper into that inner place, a wonderful inner peace, and inner calmness, and nothing bothers, and nothing disturbs. You're not even concerned more and more that you stay in that special place. You see yourself in that. Those fountains of Las Vegas, wherever you are in your mind, you're in that safe place. You're keeping this alive in your mouth at all times. That's wonderful.
Well, we can see there that the patient does look incredibly serene, although we can see every detail of the surgery that's going on. Dale's mum's sitting here with a pretty emotional moment for you.
Horrendous. How can he not feel it?
But, I mean, for all that we can see exactly what's being done to him there, and I know that's obviously very upsetting for you, we can look at his face at the same time, and he really doesn't seem to be experiencing anything at all.
It's extraordinary. I mean, totally extraordinary how he looks so, you know, sort of peaceful. I mean, isn't it amazing? I mean, isn't it amazing?
I think you're feeling it more than he is.
I can't understand why more operations aren't done in this way. I mean, just look at him.
What do you think? I mean, actually watching it happen, Simon, how do you feel watching it?
It's completely fascinating, sir, it really is. I mean, they've already done the incision through the skin that you can see, and that's one of the bits we said might be something that he might be aware of. And what they're actually doing now is handling what's called the hernial sac. This is the lining of the abdomen. It's like a cling film that's coming out, usually with just a bit of fat in it, but sometimes it can contain a bit of bowel, and that's often a bit, it's the sort of thing that can make you feel sick, it can make you pale, sweaty, a bit like seasickness. And he's obviously not experiencing any of that at all, and this is often the bit that, even with local anaesthetic, people will get a reaction to.
Are there nerves in that hernia that's being handled there? So he should be able to feel pain if it wasn't for the hypnosis?
This sort of lining of the tummy is supplied by a thing called the vagus nerve, and so it makes you feel sick, it's pale and sweaty, it slows your heart rate, it makes you faint. All these things it will do when you stimulate it, and it's obviously not doing any of those at all.
So in order to understand exactly what's going on with this operation here, we've got some pictures you can talk us through exactly what a hernia is. We can probably look at them up on the screen now.
Yes, now
So
if
what
you
can we
imagine
see there?
the head will be up there and the feet down there, and there's your belly button, your umbilicus, and you can see the skin. Everybody's got subcutaneous fat underneath, muscles, and this is where the muscles come together in the midline. And so there's a weak point, particularly around the umbilicus, and so the lining of the tummy can come bulging out, usually, say, just with some fat in, but often with a bit of bowel in as well, and it comes through this weak point that we all have around the belly button, and that's what Dale's got, and that's what's being repaired.
And we can see, I mean, he's still looking pretty calm and peaceful. We can actually see his vital signs up on the screen as well that will tell us whether or not he's suffering any distress. Although, I mean, he'd be able to talk himself, he'd be able to say if he felt any pain. But we can look at that, we can see his pulse and his respiration, and it all looks perfectly normal. Are you finding any of this reassuring, Faye?
Oh, totally. I mean, you know, that chart looks... I don't know what a chart should look like if it was in distress, but to me, you know, it's pretty even, isn't it?
This is showing everything it should be showing, isn't it?
Yes.
It is, and he looks
But it's not showing what a patient who had had no anaesthetic, no pain-killing drugs at all, would be looking like if they could feel the operation that's
No,
going
this
on.
is not showing a distressed patient at all. No, this is showing a calm, relaxed patient.
OK, well, let's have a look at how the operation's proceeding. You can tell us what they're actually doing at the moment.
What we should find is that Tom will be working around finding the hole at the base of the sac where the hernia has come out. And often you can see some fatty stuff there, and it usually has fatty stuff in. And what he's looking for is that gap between the muscles that join up in the middle of the tummy to push everything back inside. And then hopefully we'll see a small hole that he'll then repair with some strong stitches, stop it coming out again. But all this handling of what is actually the inside of your tummy, without any anaesthetic, should be causing some sort of reaction, and it just isn't. And I think that's testament to the skill of both Tom and John. And again, you can see the hernia sac there. This is some fat that's been inside it.
Oh, so that'll just be removed. We'll let him just dispose of.
You can either remove it or you can push it back inside.
Well, if it's just fat, I think remove is what
it's
everybody would want to have done with that. So this is going perfectly normally, perfectly straightforwardly.
Going very, very well indeed.
And one of the things that we understood was that he might bleed a little bit less than if he'd been under a general anaesthetic. Does it actually look a bit kind of easier to you than maybe if he'd been put under?
I have to say that looks about normal, depending on whichever way you do it. I wouldn't say there's any more or less bleeding there, but you get a bleeding anyway. What he's doing, you're right, he's cutting off the fat now. And we'll probably see that that'll be discarded, and he's just sewing over where he's removed that bit of fat before he pushes the rest back inside the tummy.
Gosh, so I mean, it's actually, you know, they're in there with the clamps and with the stitches, and it's difficult to imagine it's not incredibly painful.
It is, but the fact he's finding it so easy just shows how relaxed Dale must be, because if your muscles are not relaxed, this is actually very difficult. So he must be a very relaxed person.
Gosh, it's just amazing to watch.
Absolutely, Sarah. Absolutely amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, some of it's been tucked back in again. Dale's not going to thank us for that when he comes out and watches some of this film later on.
I'm cleaning everything off and pushing that back inside so you can see very clearly the hole. And what he'll do is double breast the muscles so they're doubly strong.
Oh, I see. So once he's sewed it over, there's no possibility that it can breach there again because it's sort of double reinforced.
Yes, I mean, the chance of getting another one will be very low. You never say never. And there's always a small percentage of people who'll get another hernia. But the way you do it, you double breast it to make it doubly strong to try and reduce the chances as far as you ever can of it ever coming back again.
So do you think we've passed the points where if there was going to be some distress from Dale, the kind of critical point where we were going to see him in some pain if he was going to experience any?
I think we're well past that, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. A bit more tying off, just tying off this way to remove a bit of the fat there.
And relax.
Comes back flat.
Ever deeper and deeper. And there really are no limits to your relaxation. Beautifully relaxing your mind and body.
Right, well, I've just popped out of the surgery for a moment just to feed back on the atmosphere from the anaesthetist room, and I have to say it's an extraordinary spectacle. It's a very calm atmosphere. There's quiet music playing in the background. There's the reassuring words of John Butler to patient Dale throughout, and Tom and his team are busy and focused, on the procedure in front of them. But I have to say, from my point of view, it's just an incredible spectacle. Very calm, very precise, very controlled. Back to you, Sarah.
Nothing bothers, nothing disturbs. You almost couldn't care less. It's alive.
Yet it is amazing how completely calm Dale looks while all of this is going on. It's just it's sort of stomach-turning for absolutely everybody else to watch. He's probably the calmest and coolest, most collected person that there is who's got anything to do with this operation. Faye's finding it difficult to watch, and I think all of us are finding it slightly queasy, but Dale just looks completely calm, totally serene.
He looks as if he's about to open his eyes at any second, doesn't he?
He does. It's obvious from that he is sort of conscious.
He's very aware,
but yes,
isn't
he's aware of where
He's
he is,
very
but
aware.
obviously not of the pain. It's completely different from somebody who was under a general anaesthetic who would just be kind of completely knocked out. So I'm going to come and talk to Charles Montague, because you have experience of operations like this. You're maybe not quite as flabbergasted as the rest of us about how incredibly calm Dale looks about. Is this what you would have expected to have happened?
Oh, absolutely. And there are certain signs that we look for. I mean, the rapid eye movement is a very good sign.
Mm-hmm.
One of the marvellous things, too, is it will be much quicker for the surgeon, because you'll probably notice there's less bleeding than there would normally be, and certainly the surgeon will be noticing that. The blood pressure will be very constant. He'll be able to control a lot of his body functions during the hypnosis, the surgery, but also there'll be no need necessarily for antibiotics, because, of course, if he was in a chemicalized state of anesthesia, all of his body functioning would be dormant. He'd be in a controlled coma. And so he would need respiratory help, and he would also need a lot of antibiotics to fight off infection. In fact, in this kind of state, the T lymphocyte proliferation, which is essentially the immune functioning, is actually enhanced, and so his immune functioning is absolutely active. In short, he's in control.
John Butler's having to work pretty hard there, though, is he? Just to make sure he keeps him under, he can hear he was talking to him all the time. Does he have to keep total focus on him to make sure that...
Well, I don't think he does. I think he's talking to him. That's his way of doing it, and it's very effective. I don't always talk quite so much, but actually it really doesn't matter. But certainly whatever he's doing is working, and Dale seems to be very comfortable.
Okay, well, we're going to go back to the theatre now.
Much deeper, that base and the relaxation. And nothing bothers, nothing disturbs as you go ever deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper in the relaxation. It's all being sewn up now, in fact. The main part is released, it's all over, but the finishing up part begins now in just a moment. And now relaxing more and more and more and more. Wonderfully relaxing in your body and mind as you go ever deeper and deeper, and deeper, and deeper. That stitching of the muscles, continuing, and that's just finishing. And Tom is so delighted with how it's going, and you're doing so well. And it's so successful, that repair. And you have the wonderful benefits of an incredibly good job, and the wonderful benefits of a wonderful recovery. Your body coping so well, wonderfully relaxed, wonderfully well. And we're on the very final stages now as it continues. And as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you're feeling tremendously good about yourself and your inner power and what you've achieved. And as you go much deeper still, because you know there are no limits to your own relaxation. There are no limits to your mind and its power, and you go ever deeper, much deeper still, much deeper still, much deeper still, much deeper still, much deeper still. Now we're on the final stages of all that work that was done, and you're relaxing ever more in that safe place. You keep saliva in your mouth at all times. You think anesthesia is there. It's automatically there. That area is like wood or stone. You lose all sensations as you're relaxing ever deeper and deeper. You feel what the touch, pulling, tugging, and it's all good work that's being done. And then the very final stages as you relax more and more and more, feeling wonderfully well, feeling beautifully well, feeling so relaxed in your mind and body as you go deep and deep.
So Simon, as we're still watching this, tell us what's actually going on in the operating theatre now.
What we've done now, they've removed that fatty stuff. That hernia sac we talked about is now pushed back inside, and what he's
literally
doing now,
just pushed back inside.
Just push it back. And what he's doing now is just closing the hole in the muscles just around the belly button. You can see he's got some fairly big stitches there. It's actually quite difficult to see the hole, but just, if he moves that for me, we'll see it just there is the hole where the hernia came through, and what he's doing now, he's doing that double breasting to close the muscles over that. And again, that's almost towards the end of the operation. What he'll do after that is perhaps put a couple of stitches underneath and some stitches in the skin. So we're getting near the end.
So we're getting close to the end, and Dale still looks very unperturbed by it.
He looks absolutely fine, doesn't he?
You're still finding it difficult to watch, presumably?
Well, I'm very happy that it's near the end now, and, you know, I'm told that this is the point where he can't stop. Oh, it looks horrendous, doesn't it? I mean, what a chasm.
You must be very proud of him, though.
Oh, well, I mean, you know...
And it was a brave decision to do this, wasn't it?
Absolutely,
And it seems to be working out for him.
I mean, his courage is in no doubt, is it?
Absolutely not.
I mean, you know, most of us would want to be knocked out, I think. But it's quite amazing, quite amazing.
But, I mean, you watching it, Simon, apart from obviously the fact that there's no aesthetics being used, the rest of it looks perfectly routine.
Yeah, it's kind of standard operation, yeah, it's exactly the way I would do it. And it's gone very well. It really has.
It doesn't take very long either, does it? I'm surprised how quickly they can get in and repair it.
Yes, it doesn't take that long, and again, that just shows how relaxed Dale is, because we said if the muscles are tense, that fiddling about trying to define where that hole is and push that hernia sac back just takes much longer, and it would also be very uncomfortable if he weren't so relaxed.
So, I mean, it's making it easier for the surgeon there. You've never actually done a procedure where the patient's been hypnotised. Do you think you'd be nervous about doing it, though? Do you think you would actually take longer over it because you were so worried that they were about to start showing some signs of distress?
I think it would come from having confidence with the hypnotherapist you worked with, and I think Tom and John obviously worked before, and their confidence of working together obviously rubs off on Dale and rubs off on everybody else. You know, I would be interested to try.
And having seen this, you think it might be easier than you would have thought before you'd actually watched it happen?
Yeah, well, it works. You can't argue with that, can you? It works.
Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't interfere with the surgical procedure in any way?
It obviously makes no difference at all to the operation itself. No.
So, he looks like he has... Well, you tell me. I'm not going to say what he's finished doing because I'm no surgeon.
Yeah, it looks like he's just finished off with the last stitch in the double-breasted repair bit. And then what you often do then is just anchor the belly button down. And then before you go and start the skin, then you can put dissolvable stitches in the skin so you don't have any stitches out. Some people use those, some people put little clips in. There are different ways of doing it. But it looks like he's just putting the last of what we call the deep stitches between the muscles to hold the repair, to make sure it doesn't come back.
So those stitches will remain in there permanently? They don't dissolve or get taken out or anything?
No, usually those are non-absorbable stitches made of things like nylon is often what they're made of, or things like that, that stay in there so they don't come out and they keep it strong.
And so once somebody's had a hernia repaired like this, is there a chance it will rupture again? If you've had one once, does it mean you're more likely to get one again?
It doesn't necessarily, no. We'd hope that this doesn't come back. I mean, the chance of getting another one is less than 1%. And the trick is to have a hernia repaired by somebody who's done a few. That's the important thing.
Right. But there are people who've done more than a few.
There are, yeah.
Because it's one of the more common operations to be performed?
Yes, there are about 80,000 hernia operations a year, something like that, in this country, and about 40,000 other people who wear trusses, which are the belts to keep their hernias in. So, yeah, there are quite a lot going on, yeah.
Yeah. And so we can see now, that looks as though he's finished the deep repair, do you think?
It did look like it. He'd cut that last big stitch, hadn't he?
And John's just spent still, you know, his
working
focus
very
is
hard,
completely
isn't
with Dale.
Yeah, I think he's doing belt and braces here. He's not going to have that come back, is he?
You're doing wonderfully, Dale.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you, live on television? Make sure you do it absolutely perfectly.
And more. Wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. Relaxing more and more and more. You're doing wonderfully. Everybody is happy how well you're doing. And you continue to drift much deeper still. Much deeper still. Feeling it more and more as if it's not there. Just wood or stone. It's just not there. You don't feel it. You're just relaxing. Much deeper still. Much deeper still. Much deeper still. Nothing bothers. And nothing disturbs. Nothing bothers and disturbs as you go deeper and deeper and deeper. Feeling wonderful healing taking place already. Already on the road to recovery. Or you're on the road to complete wonderful healing. Feeling elated with yourself. Feeling beautifully so. Incredibly relaxed. Feeling well in your body and in your mind as you drift ever deeper now. And deeper and deeper. Those sounds and noises just send you deeper. The pullings, pressing, the stitching, sending you down deeper and deeper and much deeper. You relax those sensations. You keep the saliva in your mouth fully at all times. You sink anesthesia. It's there. Automatically. You know it. Once you sink it, it's there. Once you sink it, it's there. You're much deeper still now. Much deeper. And keep reducing that saliva in your mouth. And relax more and more and more and more. Much deeper still. Much deeper still. Much deeper still.
Okay, so I'm back out of the theatre again just to give you an update as to how things are going. Again, going very well indeed. Joining me again is Angela Arunta. Angela, well, it appears to be going very well from my lay point of view, but what's your reaction?
Well, it seems to be going very well. He seems settled, he seems relaxed. All the vital signs have been made normal and stable, and I've not had to do anything at all.
And this is the first procedure you've witnessed without taking a sort of key role yourself as an anaesthetist.
Indeed, yes.
What are your thoughts?
I am surprised. I was slightly doubtful. I was unsure as to what would actually happen, but so far he seems to be responding to the hypnotherapy. I've noticed that his heart rate goes up very slightly, and John Butler talks to him, and then everything seems to be settling down again. So he seems to be coping very well with the procedure.
What's fascinating me is to think about, I've seen you monitoring the vital signs throughout. Now, imagine Dale was under general anaesthesia. Would you be seeing a different set of vital signs? Would it be the same? Or?
Probably not. I think it'd probably be more or less the same. And we would be monitoring more things. At the moment we're just monitoring his heart rate and his respiratory rate and his saturations. With general anaesthetics we monitor much more. We monitor carbon dioxide output and agent analyzers and lots of other things. But the things that we are monitoring would probably be exactly the same.
So, as someone who was once a sceptic, this is an extraordinary observation that you can get exactly the same kind of patient management with just hypnosis. Isn't it fascinating?
It is fascinating. I mean, it's just one. I mean, it's difficult to draw great conclusions from this. It would have to, basically, we would need to do a lot more studies in it. But at the moment, it's proof that hypnosis for some people does work, and maybe there is a role for it in medical practice.
Okay, thanks very much, Angela. Okay, that's enough from us. Back to you in the studio, Sarah.
The surgery is proceeding there. Do come back after the break to see the conclusion of this remarkable operation that's being performed entirely without any anaesthetic. Welcome back to Chelsfield Park Hospital, where we're just about finishing the operation to repair Dale Hitchman's hernia. He's using only the power of his mind to control his pain, no anaesthetic at all. We can see what's happening now. Simon, looks like they're just about finished.
It's the final stages. He's just putting some stitches into the fatty tissue beneath the skin just to bring everything together, and then he'll be sewing up the skin, and he's as calm as you like.
Oh, I see. So there's different levels of stitch, because he's already put a lot of stitches in to repair the muscle wall itself. So there's a kind of a secondary layer of stitching here goes through it all, and then another one at the top.
Yeah, this is what we call the fat stitch. So he's put the heavy...
Charming.
Yes, it's faux fat, it's not a fat stitch. So he's put the heavy stitches in to repair the hole in the muscle. This is just to bring everything together back how it should lie, and you can see how the incision's coming back to a nice straight line. And then he'll put some stitches in the skin. It's the very last bit.
And these, again, these are permanent stitches, or these are ones that will dissolve over time as all of this heals over?
These will dissolve, these ones.
Right. So they're quite different from the ones we saw putting in much
these
deeper.
don't add any strength to it. These are just to bring everything back where it should be. And you can see a nice straight line from where the incision was, so it'll heal very well.
And it's how these are done that depends whether or not it will scar, is it?
Everybody scars differently, unfortunately. We obviously hope that people have nice, straight, fine scars that fade over many months. The scars often take 9 or 12 months to go really pale. But we hope it's a nice, pale scar. He'll always have a scar, can't get away from that. But hopefully it'll be a nice thin one. Looks of it's going to be very good.
He certainly doesn't look as though he's worried about any of it, scarring or the fact that he's being stitched up without any kind of pain control.
He's not fussed
Still
at
just
all,
looks
is he?
absolutely serene.
As we say, Mum's had more trouble.
Yeah, well, he won't worry about the scar.
Well, you said you'd be happy when you saw the hole closed up.
Yes,
There's a little bit
closing.
less of it now, at
As
least.
it closes, I'm more and more happy.
This is the stitch going into the skin now.
Yes,
what we
I'm
call
feeling a lot better
a
at this
subcutaneous
stage.
stitch just under the skin. So this goes, it'll be a running stitch under the skin, I think, is what we'll see him do. And it'll just bring everything together.
So, yeah, so after this it'll be the very end of the procedure.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes and it's all over.
And there's no mystery as to whether or not it's been a success. I mean, you can see the hernia has been pushed back in, it's all been sewn up.
Yeah.
We don't need to wait for a few weeks or months, do we, to see how it heals, to see if it's success.
No, he'll have to take it easy for a couple of weeks to let everything heal over. But there's no doubt everybody's seen it. It's been a complete success, both in terms of the surgery and the hypnosis.
For good for yourself.
I'm so relieved to hear you say that.
But anyway, you can see how the skin has just been pulled together by this running stitch. He goes from side to side, just along the layer of the skin, just to pull it all together. And this will be a dissolvable stitch, so we won't have any stitches to remove.
That's great, isn't it? I mean, it just is like a little minor miracle, really. It's just amazing. I mean, hasn't John Butler been absolutely wonderful, Sarah? I mean,
Yes, just
you know,
keeping him
just
so
keeping him
cool.
there, keeping him going. And it's a long time to talk to somebody, isn't it? All through this. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Getting it done very thoroughly, so completely. It's all good work. Each of those sensations is all very excellent work for you. And you're relaxing more and more. And everything about this feels good for you in the future. You think about the phenomenal ability you have in your mind that you've demonstrated for yourself, for others. And you drift deeper. Keep that alive in your mouth. And you go deeper, much deeper still, much deeper still.
So the operation is nearly finished, and we can go over to just outside the theatre where John Marsden is.
Sarah, as you can see, Tom has finished the internal surgical procedure on patient Dale and has just begun the process of sewing up the incision. So I would imagine we're within a few minutes of completion of the surgery. I've been watching throughout, extraordinary scenes. Patient Dale has remained calm and collected throughout, reassuring words from John Butler as you've been hearing throughout. So again, I mean, it's been, as far as I can see, a complete success. Tom, perhaps now minutes away from finishing the procedure. Back to you.
Tom puts in the last few stitches. You'll have it all cleaned up. You go deeper and deeper, much deeper, much deeper, much deeper still. Keep that saliva in your mouth at all times. It's generating that saliva easily and completely.
It seems absolutely amazing that Dale's so calm and so serene despite the fact that he's got that surgery going on. But one person who knows just exactly how it feels to have serious surgery without an anaesthetic is Pippa Plaisted. You also had an operation under hypnosis, didn't you? Tell us what you think Dale's feeling like at the moment.
He'll be feeling marvellous. I mean, it is marvellous, isn't it? I mean, I hope he's feeling like I did. I felt very serene, very calm, completely in control. And that's
the importance of it. You are in control of what's going on. I had Charles with me, who was a great support.
And was he talking to you all the time, the way we can hear John's keeping up a constant conversation with Dale there?
He didn't talk quite so much, but I think everybody has their own technique, and we'd done a few practice sessions, and Charles knew the way I was, and we both had confidence in each other.
So Dale can hear what's going on in the theatre,
absolutely.
Can he? So he's pretty well aware of what's happening, of when an incision's made, of exactly what's
What's
going on.
important is that when I had my surgery done, my surgeon did a lot of the talking. He told me at every stage what was happening, and that's very important.
But how can that be anything other than terrifying if somebody says, I'm about to make an incision in you now, and you know you haven't got any kind of pain control? You'd panic even just at that, wouldn't you?
No, because I was controlling the pain.
My goodness.
You're in such a wonderful, deep relaxation. It's almost a feeling between being awake and sleeping.
Wow.
And you're so completely relaxed, so deeply relaxed, so in control. There's no fear, there's no anxiety. And I think if you know that you're controlling all that, that brings that calm and serenity.
Okay, well, Dale seems to have managed to remain serene throughout the operation, which is just about finished now, so we're going to go back to the theatre and to John.
Well, I think I can stop holding my breath now. Tom has finished, sewn up patient Dale. It's all over. What we can do now, I think, is come in and just join John Butler, who's going to begin to bring Dale out of the trance. He's still in a trance at this point, so let's just come over and see if we can see what's happening. John's going to be talking.
Don't worry.
Just bring over now.
Just take all the kitten out. Now you have tremendous healing tonight and tomorrow, and you're just back to full functioning in every way. Okay. So, yeah.
Flexing fingers now. Just beginning to come around. Still very calm.
You can be wheeled over nicely to the tent. You can be wheeled over nicely to the tent.
Excellent.
So whenever...
They've got champagne and caviar on glees for you.
Yeah. Oh, everything. We'll keep the saliva there as well while you're feeling positive about it. That's feeling better and better, that area now. Quite a minute. We can move you around when you're ready.
I just want my ham sandwich.
You want some indeed?
Sorry?
A ham sandwich.
I'm ready for my ham sandwich now.
Are we ready to sit up?
Yeah, we're ready to sit you up there, whatever way. Move yourself around as feels right for you.
Yeah, you're decent.
Yeah.
So when you feel ready...
And you have a wonderful... wow.
When you feel ready...
Yeah, you do it carefully, and that's it.
Good, excellent, well done. Thank you, my dear. Most enjoyable.
Yeah. You right walking like that, Dale, yeah? Yeah.
Dale, John Marston here. How are you feeling?
Amazed. Yeah. It's just very emotional.
You are on your feet after a hernia operation. It's quite an emotional time. Can you tell me, were you aware of anything?
And so you feel like saying stop, like you would somebody tickling you. You feel like saying stop, but it's very, it was brilliant.
So I saw you turning your head just then. You were about to say, I think it's very relaxing. So I guess it was John's words were going through your head the whole time.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Were you aware of any pain at all?
Not what you would associate the word pain with. I was aware of skin manipulation, and I was aware of pulling and pushing. If somebody pushed a finger against you, that's what you're feeling. So as far as what you would associate pain, knives and harsh sort of jabbing things. No, not pain.
So aware of being manipulated. I mean, literally your
Yeah, you're
abdomen
aware
was
of
open.
pulling, and it'd be like somebody just pulling your skin and pushing a finger, or so you're feeling pulling and pushing and all those sensations, and you're feeling that somebody's fingers are sort of inside you and moving things around. So that is quite disconcerting. But you're sort of relaxed, and you're sort of just, you know, your head is in a sort of decent place, and so you're really quite enjoying it in a way, because it's been such a long journey that, you know, part of you is thrilled to be having it done.
Thank you, absolutely. But do you need to sit down at all? Just stay motionless
No.
if you're okay.
I just need to get myself together and get a cup of tea and a ham sandwich.
And a ham sandwich, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's coming right up.
Okay.
For the moment, thank you very much, Dale. I'd like a word, please, with John Butler. John, your point of view from the procedure, your reaction.
Well, Dale did a wonderful job for himself. He's shown the power of his mind. This is really what that's about. And it's very important that people don't just think in terms of pain. Yes, they feel pressure, touch, pulling, but it's not the feeling of intense pain or any of those other sensations you would get under normal circumstances. So this is a power people possess, and Dale has just shown that for himself.
Now, I was watching throughout, and I mean, it seemed to me that there was an incredible burden on you. I mean, you did not stop talking throughout.
Sure. Well, that's because Dale and I said, he said, I'd like you to talk to me while we're doing it, and there's a lot of positive suggestions. It's not all just about what's happening now, it's about healing and recovery. Well, there's an intense connection, I think, going on too here, but that's the interaction of hypnosis. I don't find it a strain, and some people say, I find it quite elating, or what's the word, euphoric even for me at times, because I know there's something positive going on in his mind.
When you were starting to say it's nearly over with the stitches, I felt like euphoric. I felt like sort of yelling and really shocking everyone.
Yeah.
Well, look, congratulations to you both. The hero of the hour, of course, as well, Tom Hennigan here. Tom, your reaction?
No, I think it all went very well, but I mean, what I do is what I do every day, doing straightforward surgery. The hero of the difference is hypnosis, and that's the thing that we have to marvel at, and that people think that it's crazy people doing crazy things to even crazier people. But I think the key thing for me is that it does seem to work. I've seen it several times. You just need to see how well it looks, and I think it's something that, although people laugh about, I think we've got to take it seriously. Simple message, we should take it seriously.
That's a great message. Well, look, congratulations to you all. Congratulations in particular to you, Dale. Sarah, it's back to you in the studio.
It's pretty astonishing to see Dale just standing up like that the minute the operation's finished. That can't be normal, Simon.
No, normally we'd take him out of theatre on a trolley and he'd have to rest a little while before we stood him up.
So he says he wants a cup of tea and a ham sandwich. It sounds like he's pretty much back to normal.
Isn't it incredible? I mean, we've just witnessed something quite extraordinary. I'm amazed. I've got a mixture of emotions. I'm thrilled for him to see him standing like that. I mean,
that's what you
how
wanted,
amazing.
wasn't it? To actually see him and hear him, and now you know he's okay.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy for him that he's done it. I mean, amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of him. He's going in the chair, I see. So, you know, his heroic standing. But you know, he's a hero. I mean, to do that on live television. On live television as well.
No, and to come through it so apparently calm, serene and completely unscathed.
Amazing.
Well, join us after the break when we're going to see Dale come over to the studio, we hope, and we can actually talk to him here. Do come back. Welcome back to Hypnosurgery Live, where Dale Hitchman has just had a complete operation without any anaesthetic. Dale was controlling his pain using only the power of hypnotic suggestion. So what was actually happening inside his head? Research has been conducted into what goes on in our brains when we experience pain. And the neuroscientist Stuart Derbyshire is here with us, and he's set up a demonstration to show us how pain responses work. We've got a willing volunteer with him in David Stones, who's already been put into a hypnotic trance. So I'm going to ask Stuart if you could finish the hypnosis now and explain to us the demonstration here.
Okay, Dave, I want you to just carry on relaxing on your sun lounger. And again, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And as I count, you'll find yourself becoming more and more relaxed, more and more comfortable. 1, deeper and deeper. 2, 3, more and more relaxed. 4, 5, completely relaxed, completely comfortable. Now what Dave has, he has a probe attached to his right hand, and that probe is sometimes going to deliver heat and sometimes not. I'm just going to give Dave instructions now about how I'm going to control the probe. So Dave, when I tap you once on the knee like this, you will feel the heat from the probe to be non-painful. When I tap you twice on the knee like this, you will feel the heat from the probe to be painful. If you understand these instructions, just raise your left arm. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to deliver the heat to Dave, and at the same time that I deliver the first heat pulse, I'm going to tap him once on the knee. And there you can see the heat pulse is going in. This is a 32 degrees C stimulus, which is not painful.
That's perfectly comfortable.
Perfectly comfortable temperature. And now I'm just going to ask Dave to tell me how that feels. So Dave, on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 represents no pain and 10 represents maximum pain, how does the probe feel right now?
0.
Okay, so that's an entirely appropriate response. Now in about 7 seconds' time, the temperature is going to rise, and I'm going to tell Dave this is going to happen with 2 taps. Okay, now the temperature's gone up to 47 degrees C, which is a painful temperature. Dave, on that scale of 0 to 10, how does the probe feel now?
7.
Okay, so now Dave's telling us that that's quite a painful stimulus, which is not surprising.
So it really is hot, and he really is feeling it.
Painful. Yeah, now in a few seconds it's going to switch off. I'm going to tell Dave that it's switched off with 1 tap to the knee. And then later I'm going to tap him twice without the probe actually increasing. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so now it's come down, I've tapped him twice, and Dave, you tell me how that probe feels now.
6.
Oh, and again, I made the same mistake I made in rehearsal. I actually tapped him twice on the knee, and because I've tapped him twice on the knee, it's still painful. But in fact, you can see that the temperature's actually dropped now back to that 32 degrees C.
It really is a perfectly comfortable temperature in his hand. But he thinks he's holding something that's painfully hot just because you tapped him twice on your knee. That's amazing. So it's not just that hypnosis can control your pain, as we saw with Dale's operation. You can actually create the impression of giving pain there, even though you haven't. Well, you better remove the pain.
I'll tap him once, yes. Dave, I'm going to tap you once. Okay, Dave, how does that feel now?
0.
Okay, that's great. Okay, Dave, you just enjoy lying on your sun lounger.
Yes, because I understand that you've actually done something with these experiments nobody else has ever done before and looked inside Dave's head as all of this is happening. How can you do that?
Yeah, we can use an MRI scanner, which gives us access to the actual living tissue of the human brain, so we can see what it's doing while we perform procedures like this one.
And so you're able to take pictures of his brain whilst you're doing these experiments. Let's have a look at them.
Yep. Okay.
What's this one?
So this is a picture of Dave's brain when he was receiving that 47 degrees C stimulus, which is a painful stimulus. And here you can see there's activation in his brain in the anterior cingulate cortex. That's a part of the brain which we know contains pain-responsive cells, and it's a part of the brain which generally always activates in response to a painful stimulus. So it's not surprising to see that. That's exactly what we'd expect to see.
Okay, and then let's have a look at the next picture. This is when he thought he was receiving pain, but in fact wasn't.
That's correct. So under this condition, I've tapped him twice to tell him that the painful stimulus is coming, but I've not actually sent it in. Yet he reports pain, and this same part of the brain, the anterior cingulate cortex, which commonly responds to pain, is now responding during this hypnotically suggested condition.
Let's have a look at them together. And so what we can see is you have the same part of the brain being stimulated, even though he's in real pain here.
Yep.
And this is, well, imaginary pain, I suppose, here, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it imaginary pain. The pain is still real. Dave's really feeling it. The difference is the source of the pain. So in this image, the source of the pain was that hot probe on his hand. In this image, the source of the pain is the suggestion from me that the probe is actually hot.
So if we'd had the opportunity to take an MRI scan of Dale's head, do you think, when that operation was going on, we wouldn't see a pain response at all, even though he was actually undergoing a surgical procedure?
This part of the brain and the other parts of the brain respond to pain would actually switch off, and that's been shown in experiments that we've done and in experiments that other people have done.
Okay, that's absolutely astonishing. Stuart Derbyshire, thank you very much for that. Well, also in the studio, I've got Dr. Anna Mandeville, who's a clinical psychologist from the Camden Pain Centre. She's over here. Well, we've seen quite a lot of different hypnotic responses to pain there, how it can be used in the theatre, how it can be used in dentistry, but you use it in even wider applications.
Yes, I do, Sarah. We know that a proportion of the population, in fact, up to 10% of people at any one time suffer from chronic pain, and this is pain that's persisted for 3 months or more in the absence of continued tissue trauma or disease. And these people face a challenge of having to try to live their lives, even though they've got pain every day. And we've seen tonight the importance of the fact that psychology is so integral to the person's whole pain experience, and we can use these kinds of techniques and cognitive behavioural techniques to help people to be less disabled by pain that may be present every day of their lives. And in fact, we do that within UCLH hospitals in specialist pain management programs.
It's such a wide range of things, Professor Oakley, that hypnosis can be used for. Why is it actually used more often in health service, do you think?
I think it's mainly that people just don't know about it, and a program like this will raise awareness, I'm sure, and that there are huge numbers of applications that are potentially possible in the NHS.
Do you come up against opposition where you find the conventional medical establishment don't want to listen to the uses of hypnosis?
I think things are changing now, and the work of Stuart Derbyshire and David Oakley is really helping that, because we've got a solid academic base to back these things up.
Okay. Right, well, we're going to go to a break now, and do join us after that, because we're going to be talking to Dale here in the studio. Now that we've demonstrated hypnosis can be used successfully in surgery, we'll be asking whether it can now be used more widely instead of anaesthetic. Welcome back to Hypnosurgery Live. It has been a really extraordinary night here. Our patient, Dale Hitchman, has just been through serious abdominal surgery without using any anaesthetic. He controlled his pain entirely by hypnotic suggestion from John Butler. He's over in the recovery room right now with the nursing staff. He'll probably be joining us here later. But here are all the people who made the operation happen. Now, congratulations to all of you. It was quite something to watch. John, you were over there watching it all for us. And you've probably got the least experience of that kind of surgery of anybody here. What was it like?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm just the lay sort of viewer. It was extraordinary. As I was trying to sort of capture, that there was an extraordinary atmosphere. On the one hand, of intense concentration on the part of Tom and his surgical team, and then this extraordinary atmosphere surrounding Dale, the patient, kind of created from John's words. I mean, I have to say that the man did not stop talking throughout, and there was an incredible sense of keeping Dale's emotions in check. And as Angela and I were talking about, there were a couple of moments where you thought was it getting out of hand, and then suddenly John would speak and Dale would become calm again.
Angela, you were slightly sceptical before this began as to whether or not it could work. You've had your mind changed watching that, presumably?
Yeah, well, it went fantastically well. I was very surprised. I was quite a sceptic, but I think there is something in it, and I hope that this would generate a lot of interest, and maybe there'll be much more trials done, and maybe there is a role for this.
Well, it is used more widely elsewhere, because some sceptics will always think hypnosis is a little bit too unpredictable to be easily accommodated into the health service. But in fact, it is used quite commonly in hospitals in places like Liège in Belgium, where we went to see how it can be used in an everyday setting.
Liège Hospital in Belgium is pioneering surgical hypnosis. Since 1992, the anaesthetists here have used hypnotic techniques in over 5,000 operations. Leading the team is anaesthetist Marie-Elisabeth Feymonville.
The reaction at the beginning was they were surprised that I would like to use it. But when I asked the surgeon if he agreed that we used hypnosis, he gave me his confidence that it will be correct.
Today, Natalie Vandenbroek is having an operation on her neck to remove a growth on her thyroid. This is invasive surgery. The procedure takes an hour and a half and would normally be carried out under general anaesthesia. Natalie has chosen to have the operation under hypnosis. She has never been hypnotized before.
I heard about hypnosis from my sister-in-law. She had it 10 years ago for the same surgery, and she was very happy from the result.
At Liège, there are no practice sessions. This will be the first time Professor Feymonville hypnotizes Natalie.
I have no guarantee that she can find the hypnotic state very easily. I work with her in the operating room, and then I will discover it is easy or not. I cannot say it before.
The surgical team here at Liège uses hypnosedation, hypnosis in combination with tiny amounts of intravenous sedation and local anaesthetic. Compared to a general anaesthetic, this combined approach means a 70% reduction in the amount of drugs used.
Dans ces couleurs, d'autres couleurs, des ombres qui changent les couleurs et la lumière qui transforme la couleur. I think everybody had access to this special state that we call hypnosis.
there are people probably who are more susceptible than others. And what that translates to is how long it would take you to get that person into a hypnotic state.
Out of the 50 surgical procedures the team performs each day, an average of 4 will use hypnosedation.
This technique gives something that we have not with other techniques. It permits the patient to maintain consciousness and to be comfortable during the procedure.
The Liège team are in no doubt as to the huge benefits of hypnosedation in surgery.
They avoid the patient being placed in a medically induced coma. The patient breathes for himself, takes care of his cardiovascular parameters by himself, and requires trivial amounts of medicine, which means all the kind of small but real anesthetic risks are diminished significantly.
For the team, however, there are disadvantages.
The team must learn another technique. The team must learn to work differently together. The team must change working habits, and at the beginning is more workload. Et vous trouvez la douceur de l'endroit qui vous permet d'apprécier plein de. The culture in the operating room is completely different. We decrease noises. We are very concentrated on the patient, and I think it's more respectful to the patient.
We speak very slowly, there's no noise around, no telephone ring, and we mainly communicate by moving the head, moving the hand. We don't speak a lot, except the anesthesiologist in charge of the hypnosedation.
It helps the surgeon and the anesthesiologist to concentrate on their work.
The anaesthetist is totally focused on the patient from the beginning to the end, and it requires absolutely massive concentration and massive energy. If you've done 2 hypnoses in a morning, you are absolutely ready to go to bed because you're completely exhausted.
After an hour, Natalie's thyroid growth is finally removed.
Okay, voilà, comme ça, voilà. Okay.
It was a nice trip.
Okay.
It's clearly different, especially at the end of the procedure. I was speaking very clearly with the patient. She was happy. She thanks us. This is clearly different, and in terms of the end of the procedure, it's faster. It's much faster.
Patients get back to their full energy levels very much more quickly than after general anesthetic.
I feel really relaxed and really normal. I was really confident in it before, but I was really amazed to pleasure I had.
I think the model we have developed here, combining hypnosis with sedation and local anesthesia, is possible in every country, in every hospital. Only people must be motivated to change their habits.
Well, with us here in the studio is Gary Hartstein, the anaesthetist that we saw in that film there. Thanks for coming over. Is there any reason why we can't do this as successfully in Britain as you obviously are managing to do in Belgium?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a question of motivating the anaesthetists and surgeons to kind of change the way that they deal with the procedures that they do, and probably because of shows like this, getting patients to say, hey, listen, this is what we'd like now.
Are patients already more open-minded in Belgium, do you think, because it's more normal procedure?
Yeah, there's been, well, you know, it started small, and it's been a massive word-of-mouth kind of operation, and so we're solicited constantly for this kind of procedure. And our surgeons have changed in that if they're proposing an operation to a patient that can be done under hypnosedation, they propose it, and the patient has probably heard about it.
So Tom Hennigan, having done that now, you would advocate, would you, that it should be used more widely in the NHS?
Oh, definitely. Having seen it done before and then having done it again today, it's a straightforward process and the patients do well. And normally people think of hypnosis as a crazy thing, but I think that's not the case. And what we've seen today makes me even more convinced that we should be not treating it as a joke, but taking it very, very seriously.
What we saw today was astonishing, but a lot of work went into it. I mean, John Butler, you were working with Dale for 6 weeks there. Is that entirely practical, really, for there to be that level of preparation before an operation?
Well, the amount of time spent on hypnosis was much less than that. Dale travelled down to me from Blackpool. The hypnosis part of each time I saw him was maybe 10, 15 minutes. And that could be condensed in a much shorter period of time. Dale was interested in learning about hypnosis for his own uses, outside of hypnoalgesia, and that was what we spent quite a bit of time on. So I've certainly done preparation in less than a week, And in many cases, you can start on the same day or just on the spot if necessary.
And if this was to be done more routinely in the NHS, it would be an anaesthetist normally who would be administering the hypnosis. Somebody like you, Angela, would you be inspired to try and learn how to do this after watching this tonight?
It's something I would think about, yes. I'll think seriously about looking into it and seeing if it is something that I can add to my repertoire.
And do you think it's something that could ever actually really be used routinely in operations, or would it be for some kind of special case where somebody had this particular reason why they couldn't have a general anaesthetic?
I think potentially I think it's something that could be used much more widely than it is being used today, but I don't think it's something that will be used to the exclusion of general anaesthetics. I think, you know, anaesthesia is here to stay, but this is something that could be added to it and in selected cases would be of benefit.
So Tom, why do you think there is resistance in the NHS to this being used more widely?
I think if things are very time-consuming, that puts people off. If you've already got something that works well, that is easy, then people go with the flow. And also if something doesn't fit in with your world model of how things work, and if you can't understand how things work, then that puts you off.
So I'll move down and ask you, Charles Montague, what would you do to try and persuade people that this should be used more routinely? I mean, the evidence we've seen tonight is that it can work very effectively, but you've got to break down quite a lot of prejudice, haven't you, before people are going to use it a lot?
Well, Sarah, yes. No, I think it is a part perception problem, but also I think that what I'd like to see is more people offered the chance to at least listen to perhaps some CDs, some tapes, and learn self-hypnosis prior and even during and after a procedure, so that they can at least bring down the level of medication. We've heard from Liège and we've heard from John how very often just using some hypnosis can bring down the levels of medication required, and also, of course, speeding up the healing time, and that's what I'd like to see. And I think there need to be more people trained properly with the use of these techniques in this country.
So, Simon, that idea, do you think, of combining a local anaesthetic with some hypnosis, would you feel more comfortable undertaking an operation like that?
Yes, I think I would. The way they did the thyroid surgery with a bit of sedation, a bit of local anaesthetic and hypnosis, I think is probably the best way to go about it. I think the difficulty we have is that we've heard it's not for everyone, it doesn't work for everybody, that's important. And also, for example, in the health service, people will see that people are trying to get people through as fast as possible and so on. And also we have things like NICE, the National Institute of Clinical Excellence, to say you can do this or not before we can use it on a large scale. But hopefully we'll stimulate some debate and people will get talking, and that can only be a good thing.
Yes, no, it's certainly going to be a talking point after we've seen tonight, and especially after we've seen what we're just about to happen in the studio here. Dale, who's already undergone pretty serious abdominal surgery, is now able to arrive in the studio, and we're going to be able to talk to him here just minutes after the operation finished.
What about you? I thought, who are you watching it?
Faye, have a seat beside Dale so you can stay here. That was really quite something to watch. Your poor mother was absolutely on the edge of her seat.
I was thinking of my poor mother watching it, and I was thinking, Christ, what an awful thing to have to
well, of course,
watch.
Look, she had to see it. We all watched it all happen. But just as a treat for you, we actually filmed it so that you can watch some of it.
I don't think I'll be bothering. Thank you.
Now. Oh, well, we can watch some of the highlights now if you want to have a look at what actually happened. No?
No, really.
Well, that's perfectly understandable. But tell us what you could feel when it was happening.
Well, you can feel skin being manipulated. So, you know, so it is it a bizarre alien feeling? Yeah, but is it pain? No. So it's like if somebody's just sort of pulling your skin and pushing your skin, so you feel manipulation and pulling in different directions. But you're also realising at that time you are doing it, and this point that you've been building up to is happening and it's working and you're getting the result. So there's also a weird feeling of euphoria, so it's a very emotional, exciting thing.
But there must be fear as well, because if you know exactly what's happening, you know that somebody's cutting into you without there being any kind of anaesthetics, you must be scared.
There's no fear. That you eliminate fear. If you don't eliminate fear, you can't go through with the procedure. What you do, the feeling of fear in the body is very similar to the feeling of excitement in the body, so you just change the words. So to you, you think fear, and you think, no, this is excitement. It's like having a party. Are you nervous that everyone's going to have a good time? Yeah, of course you are. But you still, you know, so you still want to looking forward to it. So I was sort of, you know, had a bit of tension, but, you know, I was looking forward to it.
So we've just been talking here about whether or not this is ever going to be adopted more routinely in the NHS. I mean, it's quite an astonishing thing that we've all watched
Yeah.
now. Do you think it should happen more regularly?
Absolutely. I mean, the actual time that I've devoted with John Sessions to the actual hypnosis is probably like 10% of our time together. The rest of the time it's been sort of educating and learning sort of to trust one another and to be sort of telling each other. I mean, I see hypnosis as like the nucleus to loads of sprigs that can be used for the NHS, for medical use, for regression, for giving up smoking. So I see that as like the core to something that's got limitless possibilities.
And you would certainly advocate anybody else to go through what you just have?
Oh, completely. Completely. And if somebody like me is completely shit scared of a general anaesthetic, you know, it's amazing.
And you've been convinced tonight, have you, Faye?
Totally. I mean, it's been an amazing journey. I'm just amazed that Dale went through with it. I'm very proud of him. And it's just been incredible. Incredible night.
Yes, no, it's been astonishing for all of us to watch, Dale. I mean, it really has been just quite an amazing thing to witness. So, thank you so much for letting us see what was happening to you.
Thanks, John Butler and Tom Hennigan.
We've all seen a lot more of you than we ever would normally have expected to.
Yeah, well.
That is all from us tonight. A very big thank you for Dale for letting us share that incredibly intimate moment with it. Also, thanks to all our studio guests who've been here helping us understand what we've been watching. So from all of us here at the hospital in Kent, do have a very good evening. And remember the astonishing event that we've all witnessed here tonight. It really was quite something. Good night. So I'll talk to you now. They can't actually hear what we're saying now, but everybody else will come in.